Boom shakalaka. What is going on, everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at the recent turn down in Bitcoin's price, what this could mean for Bitcoin, and also we will take a look at will Google's quantum supremacy break Bitcoin in 2020? Do you have to worry about quantum computers in 2020? So if you're interested in this stuff, definitely stay tuned for today's episode. Okay, guys, now Bitcoin has taken a tumble all the way down from $8,500 to about $7,600 where we are right now. What does this mean for Bitcoin, especially since yesterday I said, hey, we're heading up towards $15,000. But as of right now, if we take a look more closely, Bitcoin is still within that channel that I predicted yesterday, still well within that channel. It still could go all the way down to around $7,200 to find support in that channel. Does that mean that Bitcoin will continue up to $15,000? Possible. But if we take a look here, Jacob Canfield on TradingView has another analysis that is possible. Also, he thinks that Bitcoin could potentially have lower. Now, he says this is just kind of a way crazy analysis, but it's certainly possible if we take a look at things. So basically, what he's taking a look at is comparing the previous rally of Bitcoin, where it had the $20,000 blow-off top, to the one where we had a $13,500 blow-off top, which was exactly 61.8% of the span from 3,000 to 20,000. But he's taking a look at that and also a look at some of the moving averages. Now, some of the more compelling stuff that we see down here, first off, he takes a look at the months leading up to the first halving and also the second halving have both a 30% and a 27% drop. So that's something very interesting to note, that in the months leading up, there might be a significant drop in Bitcoin price before it has that explosive growth. Because if you remember, we have the halving coming up in May of 2020. But also what he takes a look at here that is quite compelling is that while we were rejected recently by the 200-day EMA, we have the 200-day moving average right here that has just taken a downturn, okay, as it took a downturn way back here in about May or June of 2018, and it was resistance for quite a while after that downturn until we broke through it. So could potentially be again resistance until we're able to break through that downtrend. Now, if that is true, it might be possible, as we see here, that there could be lower prices coming in before we see Bitcoin's price turn around. But we'll have to play this. He even says here, will I trade this exactly as I have it laid out? Of course not. I'll take it on a day-by-day, level-by-level. So it's not something where we can say this is 100% truly what will happen. This is one possible analysis in terms of things that could possibly happen. So the main things to watch out for there would, can we break above that 200-day moving average? And also, can we stay within these trend lines that I've drawn out here? Now, other things to take a look at. Will Google's quantum supremacy break Bitcoin in 2020? This is something that a lot of people talk about whenever they're talking about Bitcoin. They're like, but what about quantum computers? Because then blah, 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 blah. So this was a pretty good article I saw on Cointelegraph by Johan Polasak. And he talks about, will Bitcoin be stolen by Google's Sycamore, their 54-qubit quantum processor? So he thinks if this is a reality, not for 5 to 10 years, because basically what happens is the concern is that it stems from the fact that current encryption schemes have already proven vulnerable to signature forgery executable by quantum computers. So what does that mean? Well, basically quantum cryptography that we use, asymmetric cryptography. I don't know why I can't talk today. But anyways, asymmetric cryptography, which basically derives a private key from a public key, and or vice versa. Derives the public key from the private key, but can't be done backwards. Now, the problem with that is with quantum computers, it could be a lot easier. So right now, the computers that we have right now, mainstream computers, it takes about 2 to the 128 operations to locate a Bitcoin private key. However, on a quantum computer, it would only take 128 to the third operations. Now, some of you who don't understand math that well, those may seem like difficult numbers to comprehend just in your head. So if you take a look, this 2 to the 128th, that's 3 with 38 zeros after it. That's a whole lot of zeros. I mean, a million is only 6 zeros. That's like way more than 5 times a million. 5 orders of magnitude larger than a million. Now, the other thing, the 128 to the third quantum computer, that's only this many. Okay, that's 2 million. So it would be a lot easier for a quantum computer to actually be able to find a private key and then basically steal all your money. Now, the other concern that people are talking about is, will Bitcoin computers be able to mine away all the remaining Bitcoin? And the answer there is, while it could be possible, it's not really that big a concern because there's only a few million Bitcoin left, and really they can do this stuff. They can steal all the Bitcoin a lot easier than they can mine it all away. So is this something that you need to be worried about in 2020? Well, for that, I turn to this expert here, Adam Back, CEO of Blockstream. He's talking here in his article about how he's very interested in quantum computing, but he says it's not likely to become a practical security concern for a number of decades. He says that experts have estimated that a quantum computer would need 1 million qubits to create a realistic security concern. Now, granted, he says 1 million qubits. If we take a look back at this article, Google's Sycamore is at 54 qubits. So that is quite a lot larger than the quantum processors we have available right now. Furthermore, he talks about how the problem is with the signatures that we were talking about previously. Well, Bitcoin is also often used for long-term storage of value, and as Bitcoin is signature agile, there's existing signature algorithms such as Lamport signatures that are quantum secure. So if quantum became an active concern, new signature scheme can be introduced. So while the possibility is 5 to 10 years away, so definitely not happening in 2020, it is possible that if quantum computers did become a threat, we could change to different signatures that would allow for quantum computing. Now, what are those signatures? Those are Lamport signatures. All right, so Lamport signatures are a one-time signature scheme. It means it's created and deleted, but it's basically tracked through a hash tree. So basically, you have one signature that could be hashed to create another signature that would be hashed to create another one. And when you use something only once, it decreases significantly the chance of somebody being able to break that encryption, a quantum computer or not. So even if quantum computing did exist, there are things like Lamport signatures which would make it very, very difficult, if not impossible, for quantum computers to steal any of your money. So at this point, 2020, don't worry about it that much. So guys, thanks very much for watching that episode. If you did enjoy that episode, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel very much. And also make sure, until quantum computing does exist and can threaten cryptocurrencies, hold Bitcoin in your Monarch wallet, because that is damn secure and it holds Bitcoin and 3,000 other cryptos. So catch you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.